For the first time in nearly a decade, Google is raising the per-user prices for its G Suite Basic and G Suite Business productivity suites. I'm Karen Roby here with ZD Editor-in-Chief Larry Dignan talking about this price increase. And Larry, just to start off, is this something that we expected, and who's it going to impact the most?
We never really expected it per se because it hasn't happened for a decade, and I'm not sure it's happened ever at all. The other argument with Google is, it keeps scaling and things get cheaper. So we sort of expect prices on Google to be down forever. So basically what they're doing is for G Suite Basic, which is their bare bones, it doesn't have a ton of storage. It's for really smaller companies in a lot of ways. That's going from $5 per user per month to $6 per user per month. If you carry that out for a company that has, a few employees, it can add up. So if you pay $300 a year for G Suite Basic, you're basically paying $360 a year. So it adds up over time. And then there's G Suite Business, which goes from $10 a month to $12 a month. And business is more for those mid-level companies. They're smaller than large enterprises, but they can have a decent chunk of employees with them. G Suite Enterprise stays at $25 a month. So that's the biggest companies, they keep paying what they're paying. So I looked at the comparisons to, Microsoft Office 365, and, all these prices are kind of in line. There's all this fine print about what you get and what you don't get, but generally speaking, the G Suite price increases, keep them basically in line with Office 365 in a lot of ways. But Microsoft has like 5 different plans. So we have resources on Tech Pro Research, Tech Republic, ZDNet, all looking at these cost comparisons. So we could wonk out a lot looking at the fine print. But generally speaking, G Suite's raising prices for 2 of their, more popular plans.
All right, when it comes to the increases, Larry, talk a little bit about, just tech inflation in general.
Yeah, this is the weird part with this. In a vacuum, these price increases don't look all that surprising, right? I mean, G Suite, I'm sure Google's paying more for storage and memory, and scale only goes so far. I get it. We're paying more for coffee. We're paying a little more for everything here and there. But when you put it in the context of technology, right? Your laptops are going up, your smartphone prices are going up, storage, memory, capacity, you name it, the prices have been going up. And part of that is components, part of that's component shortages. Another part of that's trade wars. Right. I mean, if we're throwing tariffs on everything going back and forth between us and China, well, guess what? That's an issue for pricing. The other thread here with, the G Suite price increases is it's an interesting test case because all the cloud providers, they've been battling on price for years. Right. So for me, I was almost shocked that they're actually moving in a different direction. Because, typically Google, Amazon Web Services, and Microsoft Azure, they're often competing on price cuts. So this could be an early indicator just showing that cloud providers have, some pricing power, which is interesting, right? Because if those prices go up, the whole cloud equation changes a bit too, right? So that's another thing to watch. I think it's, I'd be going out on a limb to say cloud providers have a ton of pricing power. But, the G Suite price increase did raise my eyebrows a little bit where I said, oh, but, I said that largely because prices were going up, and I've been just trained to see prices go down when it comes to cloud stuff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this means, how this all plays out, Larry, and specifically with some of the G Suite users, those that are already under contract specifically, what does that mean for them and the others?
Yeah, a lot of these contracts, I mean, they're billed per month, but they're usually paid annually up front, right? So basically, if you have a existing contract with Google for G Suite, these prices kick in when they auto renew. If you're on a monthly plan, then these prices kick in on April 2nd. So you have some time to, think about it and all that. But yeah, so that's kind of how it works, right? So say you have a 1-year contract, you just signed your contract. Well, the new pricing doesn't kick in until April 2nd. So you don't have to worry about it till, this time next year, which that's the other interesting thread here. Are people going to sign up for G Suite under annual contracts now to get ahead of that pricing, to sort of lock in existing prices? That's another thing to watch too, right? Because I've seen that movie play out before. With traditional software licensing, that'll happen from time to time. So, Google might see a surge in annual contracts with G Suite to get the existing prices. So you put this off for a year. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But for Google's bottom line, this could be pretty good, because G Suite's estimated to be roughly half of Google's cloud revenue, which at last check, I mean, they mentioned this almost a year ago now, their cloud run rate was like $1 billion a quarter. It's got to be more than that now, but generally speaking, G Suite's half of cloud revenue. So, these price increases, could definitely pad the bottom line pretty well.
All right, lots to consider here, Larry. As always, we appreciate your insight on this. And for more, stick with ZDNet.